Hi, my name is Corey Mitcher. I'm here with Darcel, and we are with Trinity Employment Specialists. We're located here in Tulsa, Oklahoma, but we have a division of Trinity that staffs in travel nursing all over the nation, and our goal is to make sure and add value to travel nurses, especially those that are new considering travel nursing, not sure if this is for them or not. Knowledge gives you power, and that's what we want to do, is give you the knowledge that you need to be able to be successful in this industry. And then if you're using Trinity, you get the great knowledge of Darcel, and that's what we want to do here and have a snippet of that. So this particular video cast, 5 requirements to become a travel nurse. What do you got to do? What do you need?
You have to at least have 1 year of bedside nursing.
In a hospital.
In a hospital, yes.
Yeah,
absolutely.
not in a clinic.
Not in a clinic. You have to have bedside. That's why I specified bedside. You have to have that.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, a nurse will tell me, okay, I got 2 more months to go. I go ahead and start her. Get her ready, because they want to travel. This is something that nurses cannot wait to get that year under their belt to do.
Right.
But I tell them, we'll put you on the travel, but we're going to start in your state.
Right.
That is what I recommend that for any new traveler.
Okay.
To start in your state.
Why is that?
Because they're out of their comfort zone. They don't know anything about it. They need to be around other travelers, and so they could hear and find out how, because if you get
They just need a mentor almost.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you send a nurse to Florida, and they've never been anywhere outside of their home state. They're intimidated.
Yeah.
So you want them to get used to their own environment.
Well, I mean, that in addition, I think that, being a travel nursing recruiter, like, you can be a great mentor for them as well.
Well, I talk to them, but nurses, if you've been around nurses, they could treat you really cold.
I've definitely noticed that. See, I always staffed.
It's different.
I always staffed in the clinics.
Right.
We've done some in the hospitals, but primarily we've always staffed for tons of nurses. I have, but it's in the clinics, and so this is a little bit different.
Difference.
Deal.
Yes, because they're intimidated. They shouldn't talk about pay, but they do.
Yeah,
they do. So
that's everybody, Darcel. Just in case you're curious.
Well, you shouldn't.
Yeah,
that is a thing that no one should do. But anyway, I want her to be comfortable, or him, in their own environment. Get them used to it, because there's so many things. You have to do 2 timesheets. I mean, there's so many requirements for a travel nurse. It's not just go somewhere. So you want them to be used to it. Get their feet wet.
Now, one thing that I think that many nurses should know about is that, we've got people that are just working like 50 miles away. They're still getting a travel.
Absolutely.
They're still getting all the benefits from travel nursing.
Absolutely.
But if you think about it, I drive to work. It took me 25, 30 minutes to get here this morning, and I just live in Broken Arrow. We're here in Tulsa, and that's the average commute in Tulsa, by the way, is about 30 minutes, 25 to 30 minutes. Okay, we have nurses right now that are driving an extra 20 miles each way, so that's an extra 40 miles.
Yes.
And tell them the options that you have just working like 50 miles away.
Yes, you can make anywhere from $1,800 to $2,100 a week, and most of that is tax-free.
God, I mean,
yes.
So I mean, that's a real legitimate opportunity for someone to even get their feet wet.
Yes.
So you're staying in your house, you're still getting the stipend, the housing stipend.
Absolutely.
And you're just a little bit away. You can stay there and be with your family. I think a lot of nurses don't do travel nursing because they have families and they think they got to go away.
Right. And that's why a nurse might tell me, I'm not interested in travel right now. I continue to talk to her. I said, well, you could travel in your own state. So then they're like, what? I can do that? Absolutely.
Well, not only that, you can travel just to a rural community that's like 50 miles away.
Yes. And make that money.
And there are a lot of rural hospitals that need help.
Absolutely.
And we've got a lot of relationships with some, and it's building and building and building. What are the license requirements that someone would need before they could become a travel nurse?
Well, they have to be licensed in that state.
Okay.
Say, I'm going to pick Oklahoma because we're here, but Oklahoma, a nurse, they just made Oklahoma a compact state as of last year. So now that you have your Oklahoma license and you want to travel outside the state, go to the nursing board, apply for a compact state license.
Okay, tell them what this is. Let's just assume that they don't know what a compact state license is.
Long as your home state, you have a license in that state. It could be Oklahoma, Georgia, what have you. At that point, you go back and say, okay, I want to pay a fee to get a compact state license. That opens you up to work in 33 different states across the U.S.
I didn't know it was 33.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Hawaii, Alaska.
Okay.
Yeah, they could go, it's 33 states, and they add every year.
Okay, how much is this fee that they'll need to pay?
I think it's about $100.
Is there a test or anything that they're needing to take?
They just want the money to give you a compact.
Of course they do.
Yes, of course.
Well, congratulations to our great states.
Oh, we got it.
Yeah.
We can do it.
Talk about a difference between a BSN and just a normal nursing.
A normal nurse is associate's degree.
Yes.
They can still do a travel contract.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
even though you have a BSN or an associate's or a master's, okay, because BSN is their bachelor's,
right?
Okay, but then associates, they just got their nursing degree,
right?
Then you got a master's and it's higher. So any nurse, associates.
Well, are they going to make more money if they have a BSN?
Not at all.
And now, will some hospitals be a little bit more picky and they would prefer a BSN versus an associate's?
Very rare they would categorize that's what they're looking for. Very rare.
Okay.
Because a nurse, that associate nurse knows just what that BSN nurse has.
They're going to look more at the experience.
The work history. Absolutely.
Right. Right.
It makes no sense, but the nurse got it because when she goes to get a perm job, that's when it plays a factor.
Right.
Okay? They're not going to pay you extra money because you have a higher degree than that associate nurse because you're not their employee.
Right.
Now, if you go and do a core job, yes, a person with a BSN or a master's would get more money, but not in the travel.
Got it. Talk to me a little bit about the credentials that you need to be a travel nurse.
Okay.
Like, you're going to have, as a nurse, we always had to deal with this, like keeping up with their their BLS, shot records,
TB. It's so much. And a nurse,
no one likes to go get these shots. Even if you're a nurse, you can't like to go do that.
Right. And most of these nurses, they've been on their jobs for years. So they change every year what's new.
Right.
So that's the first thing I tell them. Send me what you have.
Right. So
a list of what you have.
If there's a nurse that's considering this, go look for your shot records and get these things, just get them in order because what we don't want is we don't want your frustration level to be high because it does take only one time, but it does take a little bit of time to get you credentialed and we're going to have to go and do that. Now, once we do that, it's very easy to maintain.
Yes.
But we don't want people to get frustrated. You have to bring us all of this information.
Yeah, because they don't like it. They think it's too much paperwork. But I let them know there's a lot of paperwork. Let them know because you don't want to spring them on. You get a contract, you accepted the contract, then I throw all this out.
But it's only one time.
It's only one time.
Right.
Absolutely.
Taxes for travel nurses. Talk about the tax home. We're going to have to wrap this up real quick too, okay?
As long as they keep their home, which that's really mostly what every nurse do. They're not going to live where they're.
It only makes sense. They're not going to become gypsies.
Absolutely.
But in the case that you wanted to become a gypsy, the IRS, not Trinity Employment Specialist, the IRS requires for you to have a solid home, so that you can take advantage of the stipend, the housing stipend. If you don't, and you decide to want to be a gypsy,
right? Yeah.
Well, then Uncle Sam is going to get frustrated, and he's going to begin to charge you taxes on that. So,
but a nurse could work up to a year, but they have to take a week or two off before they do another contract.
Right.
which is good.
Well, the last thing is maintaining your nursing license as a travel nurse so that you don't ever get upside down. Most likely your agency is going to track that pretty carefully because they have a strong incentive for that. But what are some of the things that you suggest to travel nurses?
Well, and a nurse in itself, they know when their licensures is due. That's their bread and butter.
Right.
Okay, so.
But let's just be honest. Some are going to forget.
Some do forget, especially on a travel contract.
Right.
Okay, if you're in a core hospital, they're going to let you know. My job as a recruiter is to always make sure I set that date. When are you going to get your license?
Right.
Even I have a nurse now. She wants to go on travel. I say, your license expires at the end of this month. She said, I already applied.
Right.
So stay on that.
Right.
Mention it. Look at their license when you talk to them.
Right.
You know what you're dealing with.
You're going to want to keep this up to date because let's just be honest. Surprises are never fun. Generally, they're not fun.
Oh.
Not when it comes to your license.
No, and you don't want them to expire.
I don't like surprises either.
Yeah.
Listen, if Trinity can help you in any way with travel nursing, we would love to be a resource. I promise you'll want to talk to Darcel. Give us a call at 918-622-2588. Ask for Darcel, but if you want to check us out online, it's trinityemployment.com.